That's a good race, dude. Freaking goals out here, boys. Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the Rainlight carbon fiber diffuser and I'm super stoked. I'm so excited for this modification. So I did do a little bit of research online and I found one video on a diffuser that was similar on an F80. However, I ordered this diffuser from AliExpress. Yes, AliExpress. And it came in 10 days. That blew my mind. I didn't realize that it would get to me so fast. A little bit over a week and it showed up on my doorstep. It was packaged really well. The carbon fiber looks solid. The wires and everything are there, but it's a little bit different and I'm gonna show you guys why this wiring is different than the F80 diffuser I saw and how we're gonna go about installing it, everything. We're gonna get into all of it. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like in the finished product. I'm actually gonna wire this up to my brake lights. And if you guys remember, I have the brake force display function coded into this car so it flashes when I brake super hard, which should look kind of cool on the LED diffuser. I suppose you could also wire this as a DRL function, so it's always running, but I want mine to be only on when I'm braking. So that's how we're gonna wire it up today. But yeah, without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the video. Bam, dude. Look at how sick this thing looks. Oh man, I'm so excited to get this on the car. So excited. It's super aggressive looking. It's very similar to the diffuser I have on here now. It just has the brake light in the center. And so these diffuser pieces that come down, it actually has 4 now rather than 3. How my other diffuser has it. So I think that this is just gonna look so badass on the car, especially once we get it all wired up and it's working. So here's the difference on the video that I saw. The F80 install, it had a positive and a negative. Now this one has a third wire that is a yellow wire. I'm not an electrician, I don't really know where that goes, but we're gonna do some digging around. We're gonna trial and error this thing until we get it right. First I'm gonna try it without the yellow and then I'm gonna try and add the yellow in to a couple of different places. I have some things in mind. Got some connectors, some wiretapping connectors, some male and female connectors, and then some electrical tape. Not sure if I'm gonna need all that, but it's good to have it on hand in case we do. As far as the diffuser, it looks really good. The carbon fiber looks totally fine for what I'm doing. It passes the test as far as I'm concerned. This thing showed up in 10 days and I paid $450, right around there, $450 shipped to my door. So before I ordered this diffuser, I did talk to a few different companies and I was trying to get a similar diffuser, if not identical, shipped to my doorstep, and it was over $1,000 to get this. So just to see what was out there as far as options, I hopped on AliExpress and I found this one, and it's like the exact same thing. The quality's good, it's fine. I mean, this thing, you have to understand, like I'm gonna track this car. So all my carbon is probably gonna get it beat to hell, and I feel much more comfortable spending $450 than over $1,000. Hopefully the fitment is good. That's like the last thing that we need to cross our fingers on, but as far as I can see, I kind of like mocked it up to the car. We should be okay. So as far as the install is concerned, we are gonna take off these rear valences right there, these rear splitters. I might put them back on. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna see how everything looks. I haven't seen the car without those for a while, so it just kind of looks normal when I have them on. You have to take those off in order to get the diffuser off, so we're just gonna take them off anyways, and then we're gonna pull out the passenger tail light, and behind there, those are the connectors that we need to tap into. Then we need to run the wire down under the bumper over to the diffuser. I'm gonna show you guys the entire process. We're gonna jack the car up a little bit so I have a little more room, car's low. There's definitely gonna be some trial and error and a little bit of messing around on my part, but once I find the right combination, I'm gonna let you guys know in the video. Got everything off. So now what we need to do is we're definitely going to need to pilot some holes. One is going to be for the bolt over there. There's going to be a couple under here for those bolts, and then one is going to be right there. After I put this into the bumper, I use a push pin behind it to hold it from coming out. Possibly have to do that up top, but I didn't have to on that one. So we'll kind of see once we put it on. We're gonna test fit it right now and see how it fits. It's not perfect, man, I'll tell you what. Like, there's definitely some things. I'm gonna have to fix the gap right here, fix the gap right here, and then fix the gap on this side. Nothing is tightened down, so I will be able to flex this side a little more to fit in there. Same deal with this side. Every diffuser I've had to do this. It fits okay in the middle, and then you have to flex around the edges. But these are the two problem areas right now, and the reason being is the clip is having a hard time going above the actual slot and inside of it. It's happening on both sides. I'm gonna see what I can do about getting these two flush. Not worried about the sides. I know I can make those fit. Not terrible, man. I mean, I gotta admit, for an AliExpress diffuser, like, there's always gonna be a little bit of modification with carbon fiber, especially on diffusers. They're really hard to get them A1 fitment. And you know, I mean, that's probably why people pay a lot of money for really nice ones that fit well. But to be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be tracking the crap out of this car, and this carbon fiber is probably not gonna last me long. I will go ahead and ceramic coat this overnight just to make sure that it's nice and hydrophobic and it stays clean. But I'm gonna work on these a little bit, and I'll update you guys in a minute, let you know how far I get with these little gaps right here, and then we'll go ahead and pull it off and do the wiring situation. Back at it again with that update. Dude, look at that. It's really good, like really good. There's a tiny, tiny bit of gap. You won't see it unless you're really up close to the car and just like nitpicking. But I mean, as far as the diffuser is concerned, you're not gonna see that. So you guys can see the gaps over here. That's because this all isn't put in yet. Once I put it in, it'll be a lot better. It won't be perfect, but it will be a lot better. So I'm happy with that, man. I think that looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back off, and then I'm gonna start on the wiring stuff. We gotta pull out the passenger taillights. Not even kidding, I figured it out first try, and it looks sick. It looks so sick. So let me show you guys how I figured this out. I went on Beamer Post forums, and under the forum where a lot of people are changing the pre-LCI to LCI brake lights, someone put the actual schematics down so you can see which wire goes to which. So what I ended up doing is I didn't use the yellow. The black wire that comes out of the diffuser goes into our pin number 7, which is brown right there. And then the red wire, which is our positive, is going into the black and blue, which is the brake light. So I'm gonna go ahead and just run it like that. If I need to change it in the future, it's an easy fix because I can just take out the tail light and all the wires are right there. So this is right now, I just have it plugged into the actual pin, and I'm gonna go ahead and actually tap it in. I'll just use these little wire tappers. And the way that these work is you run one of the wires on this side and the one that you wanna tap to on the other side, and then you just close these and it taps them together. If you look in the taillight assembly, this actually goes all the way down to the ground, so you can see right through that. So that's exactly where we're gonna feed the wire. And then once I get it ran, before I actually connect everything, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure everything is tucked in there really well so it's away from the exhaust, it doesn't get burnt or anything, because it does get pretty hot down there. So we wanna make sure that it's clearing all of that stuff. So now, we just have to splice in our wires. So that is what we got. This guy is just gonna get taped off. Use some electrical tape and just head that off so you can't even see it. So for these guys, I have my black ground wire going to the brown, which is the ground. And then I have the red going to the black blue wire. So first I'm gonna test this out, make sure everything is tapped and it's working. I'm gonna go ahead and try it out again, just make sure it works. And then we'll go ahead and clean this up. I'm gonna put some electrical tape in here and just make it a little bit more clean and presentable. Brake light on now. Brake off. I just had a thought. Brake force display. We want that to work, and that is what that yellow wire is for. So we have that third wire, which is the yellow. And in my head I was like, okay, if we just connect the power to the brake light, then we should be good. But I just realized BFD brake light is brake force display, and we want this to do the brake force display. We want the diffuser to do the same function as brake force display as the tail lights. So that yellow wire, I guarantee you, is for BFD. So the BFD on the pre-LCI tail light on the right side is the gray and pink wire. So we're gonna go ahead and tap that yellow wire into the gray and pink. I'm gonna do that right now, and then we should be good. I almost put everything back together, but I just realized that's exactly what that's for. So in essence, once we actually do use the brake force display, the diffuser light should also function with brake force display. I'm gonna do that real quick, put the light back in, and then we'll work on the diffuser. So just for clarification, you guys, we got the yellow and the gray pink, which is our brake force display. We've got the power into the blue black, which is the brake light. And then we have the negative, which is the black, into the brown, which is our ground. So those are the three you need. I gotta clean this up with a bunch of electrical tape, make it look pretty again, and then we'll go ahead and install the taillight back in. All right, we're good. All back together. Now it's a matter of figuring out how we're gonna run this. There is enough room up here for me to tuck it and get it out of the way of the exhaust. So I think we'll be okay. Ideally, I'll have it come down here or over here maybe. I'll figure it out. Let me work on it a little bit and then I'll show you guys what I end up with. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna drill here quick. I'm gonna smoke a hole into this guy, this tab right here, that one, and then the one on the other side. And what that's gonna do is I'm gonna put a pin in the hole once it's inside of it, and that'll hold it behind this so it doesn't come out. The center ones are fine, I don't need to worry about those. And then if you guys look on the bottom side, I'm gonna put a hole right here, and then I'm gonna put a hole right here, and I'm gonna put pins in those, and then these are where the factory holes ended up lining up with the bolt, the two 8mm that go on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and smoke those holes real quick, and then start putting it on, and then figure out how I'm gonna run the whole wiring situation. All right, so these are the bolts that are gonna go on each side, on the side part of the diffuser. Then these are the pins that I use. I use these plugs, I put them through, and then I use a pin inside of the plug and it expands it, holds it in place. And then I use two simple pins on the outside through the flanges to hold it in right here. Now I gotta work on tucking this and just making sure it's out of the way from heat. And yeah, I'm gonna try and get crafty with that as well. I'll keep you guys updated. It looks so good. I'm honestly really impressed with it, being that it's AliExpress and the fitment was as good as it was. I mean, it's not perfect, but I give it probably an 8.5 out of 10. Also, I decided to throw these back on. It just looked weird without them. I don't know. It's like I can't unsee the car with those on. So, that's where we're at, man. You can see the little fitment issues on the side here. Like it's a tiny, tiny gap. Tiny. But when you're just looking at the car, you really can't see it. It's very, very minimal. You know, from like back here, you can't even see it. It's really only when you get up close. Doesn't really bother me too bad, especially being that it's, you know, AliExpress. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Lewis put some dyno shade over this, just a very light tint to darken it up a little bit. It's very, very bright red. So I think it would actually look really good with just a very slight tint to it. Probably the same stuff that I did in the headlights, the light smoke dyno shade from S-Tech. I do have to pull out the exhaust tips a little bit. Well, they're not bad, but they're a little sunken in because this diffuser is a little bit more aggressive than my other one. So I will adjust the exhaust tips and just bring them out flush with the diffuser. That's something that's on the list as well. But overall, man, super happy with it. So the way that I tucked the wire is behind the heat shield in here. If you look under your car, there's the heat shield, and then up top, like right about there, there's a big screw, a big bolt that comes out of the frame. And I actually ran the cable over that bolt and then zip tied it to that bolt. So it goes all the way around over the exhaust behind the heat shield, which is good because that means that it won't get hot, it won't melt, and it's not going anywhere. So that seemed to work out pretty well. So the way that we have it wired, as you guys saw, Took a little bit of trial and error for me to figure it out, which I expected. But I'll throw up the diagram that I have right here so you guys can see how I have it wired. Essentially, the black is going to the brown, which is the ground. The red, which is the power, is going to the brakes, which is the black and blue wire. And then the gray and pink wire is connected to the yellow, which is the brake force display. So if you guys have ever seen, like on the F1 racing cars, these are basically always flashing when they're braking. And I'm not quite sure how it's set up yet. I have Andres coming over right now. We're gonna go do some driving. He's gonna tell me because I can't see it when I'm driving, obviously. I did some standstill stuff, and it's interesting because when I turned on the car and I just hit the brake, it did the flashing just like an F1 car. But then when I was reversing back into the garage and I hit the brake, it was just on when I hit the brake. So it wasn't flashing or anything. So I wonder if it has a difference when you're like reversing or something. I don't know, who knows? But you guys can wire it however you want. So if you omit the yellow wire and just cap it off, you're just gonna have like a normal brake light on it. So right now it's set up kind of like an F1 car. But I might end up just doing the brake light like a normal brake light setup and just snip that and cap off that yellow wire so it just stays on when I brake and doesn't do the flashing. Very, very easy install. But dude, it looks aggressive. It looks so good. Like, whoo. So I'm waiting for Andres to get here. Once he gets here, we're gonna go out and do some driving. When I get back tonight, I am gonna go ahead and ceramic coat this and let it sit overnight and cure. You guys have seen me use this stuff before. I'll have it linked down below, but it's very, very easy. You just apply it to all the carbon, the entire diffuser, wait about 10-15 minutes, and then you take a microfiber towel and level it out. Then just let it cure overnight and you should be good. I have everything else that's carbon on here. The whole car is ceramic coated, but all the carbon was ceramic coated with this, as well as my wheels. So, got Andres behind me, that F30. About to show you guys what this brake light is all about. Car looks so good lower, dude. It's fire. Got everyone out here. Twin driven, gray F30. You guys have seen this car on the channel a couple of times. Got my shit, that F30. You guys are always sending me questions about this 335. These are the 335 brothers. Two 335s, super sick, both of them. So here's what we figured out about the rear diffuser, and it's really weird. So I have the wires ran, as you guys know, I've already gone over it a million times. I have those wires ran like that, but for some reason when I first start the car and I hit the brake, it does the flashing and then it stays on. But when I start driving, it's just like a normal brake light, third brake light. I don't know. It's like a wiring thing. I'm gonna have to figure it out. If you guys are like electricians in the comment, let me know what you think about it. But yeah, so the way it works. Hey Andres, you wanna hit the brakes real quick? So when he hits the brakes, you'll see that it just stays on. I mean, it should. Yeah, so it just stays on. Let it off, do it again. You're good. So it's weird because when I first started the car and I did it, as you guys saw, it blinked like 5 repetitions and then it stayed on. But for some reason, when I drive it, it's like a normal brake light. If there's any electricians in here, comment down below and let me know what you guys think, because I honestly have no fucking idea why it does that. But yeah, man. So he's straight piped. Nate, gray F30 is straight pipe, right? Essentially. All the way back. He's got nothing, it's just open flow, man. Had a lot of you guys asking about that. These boys are on MHD. Actually, no, he's on boot mode stage 2, and he's on MHD stage 2. And he said that he walks him, right?
Yeah.
A lot?
A car length.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I don't know if MHD, like the tuning, what bolt-ons do you have?
Well, we're basically same with bolt-ons, except I have a pure stage 2 turbo inlet, which is it's like a little bit different.
Larger diameter, isn't
yeah,
it?
But he's also running the N52 cam.
Yeah, which I think it makes it slower.
And he's not tuned for it yet.
Oh, and unless you're tuned for it, maybe that's why.
I feel like mid-range is good, and then top end it falls on its face.
So that's the N52?
Cam, yeah.
Interesting. So he's got the N52 cam in this, which is actually, I've seen this on the forums where people put the N52 cam in the N55, and that's what he's running on this car. So I'm thinking if you got it properly tuned on a dyno, it would probably rip, to be honest with you.
350.
Probably rip. That's what's up. You got the whole gang out here today. So that's the deal with the brake light diffuser. I don't know what the deal is, to be honest with you. It's kind of weird. You could just wire it straight up to the brake light, so it would just do that all the time. You could even wire it up to the DRLs if you wanted to. And if you ran it to the DRLs, it would just function all the time, which I think would be kind of ridiculous. So essentially the way that I have it lit up right now, or wired up right now, is it's just with the brake lights. And for some reason, sporadically, it does the brake force display thing. I don't know, dude. Who knows? I'd have to go in there and kind of mess with the wires and actually figure out why it's doing that, but I think we're gonna get into some hooning here and have a little bit of fun. Dude, 437N gang. Everyone's rocking the 437s. Those are the wheels, boys. It's a rev battle.
And that's just straight out. You're shooting flames, by the way. You know that, right?
I did?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, you're 100% shooting flames.
Wait, do it again.
Hey, do it again.
What?
Yeah, I'll get up.
So I have it on OEM verbals right now. So the first time when I revved it, it shouldn't have been that loud. I was like, what's going on?
I'm on OTS.
So
I just did the OTS verbals. So whatever's on the map is what I'm running.
Well, yeah, but like, you know, you can like use the slider.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time
sick.
I put that. Oh damn. Yeah. That is. That's where it's at.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
About to go have some fun with the boys. .335 full bolt-ons, MHD stage 2. The whole gang, dude. We got just fleet of F30s. It's all spin, dude. That's completely out. We gotta hook up, man. Bunch of savages, what? That was a good race, man. Damn. That was a good race between those two. That shit was neck and neck, bro. That then there's some driving, folks. You know, I need to shoot. That thing's sick. That thing's fucking dope. Did you? Who was behind me when I went from with you on the light? Were you any?
I got it.
Did you see how fucking squirrely I got, dude? Fucking thing. Dude, it does not grip. Like literally, like even on the freeway. Even on the freeway at what 40 did we roll? It let loose. Freaking goals out here, boys. So sick. No, you're good. You good? Yeah. Ken, you're good. No, come back up. Damn. Dude, that's a sick photo. With the sun coming down in the back, that looks so good. Wow. Bam, back home just like that. It's good to see the boys, that's for sure. Diffuser's sick, I love it. Got to figure out the whole wiring thing. For right now, I'm just gonna leave it. Basically, it's just like a brake light for right now. And then sometimes it has the brake force display thing, I don't know. But it looks really good, man. Can't complain. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I'll leave everything that you saw linked down below in this video, the diffuser and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and ceramic coat this right now. I'll also leave all of the socials, the Instagrams for everyone that you saw in the video down below. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Thanks so much for watching. Please do subscribe, comment down below, like this video, hit that bell notification, just like that. This video's over, and we're out. Peace.